There are moments in football where the scoreboard tells a lie, and then there are nights where the scoreboard tells the whole story, but barely scratches the surface. And this game was the latter. It was supposed to be a night of legacy. Sam Docherty, the heart and soul of the football club for what feels like a decade, putting on the jumper one last time. Jacob Weitering, 200 games of blood, sweat and tears, and big spoils. And what we got was a performance that, if we're honest, dishonoured all of the narrative Carlton media had pushed for a week. And it wasn't out of malice, more out of apathy, out of a system that no longer serves its players, out of a culture that too often looks to survive rather than thrive. A 24-point loss on the surface doesn't seem that bad, but emotionally, spiritually, structurally, it's a lot heavier than that. A team that was barely in the contest by the 15-minute mark, a club being taught what elite football looks like by a new, fast, improved, and fast overtaking side in Hawthorn. So today we're not just reviewing a game, we're holding a mirror at the football club that, for all of its big names, its big paychecks, and its big media headlines, is simply miles off it in every way that counts. So hit that like and subscribe button and let's get into it. So in the end, when the final whistle sounded, Hawthorn 13-7-85, defeating Carlton 9-7-61. On paper, competitive. On field, not really. Carlton had more inside 50 entries by one, more clearances, more contested possessions, and even dared to win the ground ball count. Yet it was Hawthorn who generated better looks at goal, more frequently and harder. They had more metres gained, they had more marks, including big intercept marks and intercept possessions. And here's the kicker. Hawthorn scored 58 points from turnover, Carlton just 27. That's not just a poor game, that's a damning indictment on how far away the Blues are away from modern day football, and an indictment on how they look to move it, how they set up defensively, how they transition offensively, and how little they hurt teams when teams make mistakes. And when they win it back, it's poor. Once again, we saw Charlie and Harry drift up the ground, leaving small forwards at full forward. Tom de Koning just kind of wandering around there. Harry Mackay, it seemed like he wasn't fully fit. And it was really poor. The forward 50 is chaos with no method, and it's not chaos in the good sense of the word with high tackle inside 50s. So how do you lose a game when you are so poignant around that contested game? Let's break it down with the home truths of where we are as a football club. Let's talk about it. The depth of width. Why our system just strangles itself. Carlton, we are obsessed with flooding the contest, really closing down that corridor. We send the extra numbers in and around stoppage, usually on the defensive side. It's pathological. And while on paper it looks like you're trying to be a strong clearance game plan, it comes with a huge consequence. You kill all spacing, you remove any outlets, you jam the corridor, you create a ground so condensed that any win of the footy leaves no option but a panic dump kick. Against Melbourne, this was manageable. They beat you with the same shape. But Hawthorn, quick, smart, they want you to overcommit. They'll play the extra in the defensive half so they can intercept and use it as an attacking outlet. You get destroyed. Carlton's wings were incredibly poor. Blake Acres and Fogarty used for large portions on the wing. Multiple touches between them, little impact, got sucked into the contest. When you compare that to someone like Massimo D'Ambrosio, played as Hawthorn, he patrolled space, he looked to give the overlap, he made Carlton pay when they played the extra man inside or forward. This isn't a midfield issue as such, this is a structural flaw. It's a system first, player second, and it's strangling the Blues week after week. Then it's a system built to fail. Down the line, then nowhere. Carlton's game plan is allergic to risk and dynamism as you've ever seen. When they do win it back, particularly in the D50, the instinct is to slow it down. Play this tempo, reset your shape, kick long down the line. But when you crowd the contest and you don't use runners, that long kick literally says a 50-50, a turnover, and let's come back. When you look at Carlton's defensive to forward 50 movement, 24% of the time they found a forward 50 entry, Hawthorn 34.2. When you look at D50 to score, 9%, this is poor. This is one of the worst areas of Carlton's game. This is where Carlton win it back for absolutely no reason. The philosophical way of this bites. There's no wave running, there's no outnumber, there's just safe options and contest, and then it dies. Adam Saad had numerous kicks, but none of them broke a line. Forced sideways into chips, there is no one taking the game on because the system doesn't allow for it, but now the players don't even look for it. You're seeing 2023 was built on incredible effort and incredible two-way running. When that energy goes, the system is flawed. And then let's talk about the body language. The biggest indictment for me at the game was the jogs. We talk about structure, we talk about row, but there were players out there who simply didn't want to run defensively. The Adam Saad passes versus Nick Watson, a pivotal moment. Saad ball watching, jogging, going at three-quarter pace almost. Watson just first to the ball. What hurts you more is Saad made the lead first, but there was no sense of urgency, no intent. Acres constantly trailing behind his opponent by 50 metres after a turnover. Didn't look like he was breaking a stride. And in the contest, multiple Carlton players dropped deep, looking to close off that channel. Fogarty, Motlop, White, Curnow, flooded inside defensive 50. And impact-wise, it kills you because when you win it back, there is no one to spread that play with. When you look at Harry O'Farrell, 6 intercepts, 8 1%ers, 16 pressure acts, 8 spoils. You have a 19-year-old, less than 10 games, who is playing like every moment matters. The same with Will White. 2 goals, numerous pressure acts. He was really strong. They cared. They pressed. Even Harry O'Farrell in his interview for the club says he's looking forward to playing for the Guernsey. They scrapped. And at the minute, the veterans, they are very much watching. The fourth one is a real simple one. The X factor in the midfield, no damage. There's something really off when you look about Carlton's midfield. And now when you watch top teams, it scares you. And it's been there for a while. Yeah, they win it. Yeah, they work hard. But dynamism is a foreign word to them. There is no change of pace, no line breaker. George Hewitt was the leading disposal getter. 27 touches, but 3 clearances. 10 handballs. There is no damage, no surge. One of his only forward-looking kicks was him picking out James Sicily out of 4 blues. Shearer, 13 kicks, 4 score involvements. Played behind the ball most nights, looking to just churn possessions. Cripps, 4 hard 5 clearances, but again, not enough inside 50s. And he was beaten head-to-head in Colin Nash as the Blues left him out to dry. Nash finished with more pressure acts, more disposals, was a stronger presence throughout the clinches because he had people to give the ball off to. Hawthorn had numerous midfielders and halfbacks with 20-plus touches. Moore, Impey, Ward, Nash. Even Day had 15 with 6 tackles. They mixed inside with the outside. They burst. The midfielder there to not only support defence, but also attack as a unit. Carlton's midfield feels like it's got 4 or 5 individuals playing 4 or 5 different game plans, and it's not cohesive. And when it does win the ball, you don't have the wow factor. And then we've got to talk about the turnover game, a system that hates speed and risk. This might be our most damning start. Again, for 58 points from turnover versus 27. And it's not the first time. This has been a 2-year, 3-year theme with Carlton. When Carlton win it back, their first instinct is to slow it down. Not use it, not to look to capitalise, but to go with secure methods to make sure that players have time to get forward. The game slows, the defence sets, the opposition can set its traps, and then the long bombs come in. In contrast, Hawthorn looked to flip the switch. Sicily attacked the ball hard. Barras, Scrimshaw, Battle, they're all trusting to launch off turnover, changing up the angles. This leads to scoring chains. Carlton, try a handball once or twice, or shit, kick it long. This is modern-day offence, a trench warfare Carlton are playing, while everyone else has gone to the aerial, sophisticated route. Turnover game is meant to be a weapon, and for a team that gets a lot of intercepts like Carlton, they don't use the ball well at all. And the change of angle at Carlton is almost Banterville at times. You look at how teams go width, corridor. Carlton evidently can only do one thing at any one point in time. Let's talk about Sam Docherty. It was sad. Another milestone game that we've let down. Sam Docherty on the arc, pushing forward one last time. Ball hits the deck, snaps it home. That's a huge moment. Emotional flicker. The roar, the players swarming around him, the crowd rising. This moment was the night that it was supposed to be that moment for 4 quarters. But when you look at how the Blues applied themselves in this game, I would say 8 or 9 players don't want to be there. They don't want to play this system. Whatever anyone says about Michael Voss, the system is archaic and it isn't going to stand up against these top teams. But the list build, the application from these players is so far off a top 8 side that is basically Voss is telling the truth. It's incredible effort and nothing else. So where do Carlton sit? 7-12, lost 4 of the last 5, kicked under 10 goals in 9 games. They have been outrun, outcoached, outscored again and again. Players outclassed, outworked, outsmarted. The ladder doesn't show the rot. It shows a vision that doesn't exist. A system afraid of speed and dare. A midfield lacking bite and panache. And a forward line built around 2 big guys who just have to take marks on 8 people. A team that can't and won't switch, won't use any dare, and is slowly taking away any dynamic appeal of this team. Carlton are looking at being rock bottom at the minute. When you look at this in isolation, they have to show something. And what we are seeing week on, week in, is just not good modern day football. Yes, people like effort, people like intensity, but the top sides in this league at the minute have a system, a belief, and a hunger that doesn't exist at Carlton. And at the minute, we are seeing a repeat of the team tenure, a repeat of the Bolton tenure. We know it's not quite working, but now the players are plodding towards the end of the season. And how many resets can this club survive until someone holds their hand up and says, we are basically selling fool's gold? Because that's what it is at the minute. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tough watch, and it is hard at the minute, and we have got to find a way of staying together. But truth be told, 4 games to go till the end of the season. It's not great. And at the ground, the application, desire, structure are genuinely alarming, because I don't think Hawthorn got out of 3rd gear. Let me know what you think in the comments, chat. See you next time. Much love. Make sure you like and subscribe. Pom out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.